All right, let's do some more examples. This one here says graph y equals minus cosine of 2x. All right, so we are looking at the amplitude here is absolute value of this -1. So the amplitude is just 1, but it's flipped. And we need to find the period. The period is 2 pi over b, and b in this case is 2. So the period of this thing is pi. If we were just asked for the period, that's what we do. But let's look at this tip up here. This tip says if you want to find the beginning and end of the first cycle of a sine or a cosine, and you're given it in this form, a sine bx minus c, what you do is you take the bx minus c and you sandwich it in between 0 and 2 pi. So what I would do here is I would take this bx minus c here, in this case it's just 2x, and put it in between 0 and 2 pi. Then we'll solve for x. We'll divide by 2 on all 3 bits. So these are the endpoints of one cycle of this graph. So that means this is 0. See, pi is over here. This is 1, and this is -1. All right, now cosine. Remember, cosine looks like this. It starts and ends at the top. Looks like that. So if we graph one period of this, its period is pi, but it's flipped upside down. So we're going to start at the bottom, we're going to end at the bottom, and in the middle we're going to be at the top. And the quarter points it's going to go through here. So if we were told to draw one phase of this, that's what our graph would look like. If we were told to draw another one, let's say it said to draw 2 phases. Well, we just repeat drawing those points again. We'd start at the bottom, we'd end at the bottom, and we get this. And we can continue drawing more and more of those. Now, if I graph that on Desmos, let's see. I'm going to delete all this stuff. Y equals minus cosine 2x. We get this right here, and that's pretty much what I drew, although it's much nicer looking. It starts here at -1, and then it goes up along here and ends there at pi. I'm sorry about all this scrolling in and out. My mouse, it's kind of difficult to keep it from doing that. All right, let's do the next problem. Y equals 2 sine pi x. Okay, so on this one, the amplitude is 2. And to find the endpoints of one phase, we're going to go from 0 to 2 pi and sandwich this in between. So divide everything here by pi, we get 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. And so for my graph here, all right, we get this. I'm going to draw two cycles, but I'm only going to draw one at a time. So the first cycle, since this is its sine, and it starts at 0 and ends at 2. So at the beginning we're at the bottom. I'm sorry, in the middle. At the end we're in the middle, and in the middle we're in the middle. And sine goes up and then down. I'm terrible at drawing good sine waves. So that is one cycle of the graph. And if we were to draw another, it would have a length of 2. So that's 2 cycles of this graph. We can call that 2 cycles or 2 periods of the graph. All right, let's do the next one. The next one says graph y equals 1/2 sine of x minus pi over 12. All right, so this one, we can look at it immediately and say the amplitude is 1/2. And then to figure out the endpoints, notice I'm not even really working out what the period is or what the phase shift is. Working out the endpoints like this, we don't need to worry about that. So the endpoints, we're going to sandwich x minus pi over 12 in between 0 and 2 pi. So I got to add pi over 12 to all 3 sides. I get pi over 12 here. Then let's see, this is 2 pi plus pi over 12. So 2 pi plus pi over 12. Let's see, 2 pi, that's 24 pi over 12. So this is going to be 25 pi over 12. All right, so let's graph this. Now, I'm only going to graph one of these, I think. Let's see, I'm going to make this my 1/2. This down here is my minus 1/2. And this is where it might get a little bit tricky drawing these things on here. I want to plot these 2 points. So let's see. Here's pi. And what I want to do is I want to cut this. Actually, let me do this again. 25 pi over 12 is just a little over 2 pi. So I'm going to put 2 pi out here, pi here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to translate off by pi over 12. So my first point is going to be here at pi over 12. If I wanted to, I could come through here and cut this up into 12 different things. I'm not going to do that though. I'm just going to offset by pi over 12 from there, and from there. And then halfway between these 2 points, I'm going to go up to 1/2. Halfway between these 2 points, I'm going to go down to negative 1/2 and get a point here. I'm just going to connect these up with the smooth curve. And that's pretty much all there is to graphing these sorts of sines and cosines. You just need to find the, first up, find your amplitude, then find the endpoints. Then you plot those on there, and then you put your 5 key points on there. In this case, it was a sine. If this had been a cosine, the only thing that would have been different is I would have put, actually, let's make this another 1/2 cosine x minus pi over 12. Let's graph that too, and I'll do it in green. With cosine, this point would start at the top. This point would be at the bottom. Here, this point would be at the top. And directly underneath this and directly above there, those would be in the middle. So if this were cosine instead of sine, that's what my graph would look like. All right, my cat just jumped off my lap, so I think this video is done.